All right, let's get into it. Big moves are happening for the Philadelphia Eagles, and today we're breaking it all down. Howie Roseman has made another bold decision in NFL free agency. Another Eagles player from the Super Bowl winning squad is heading to a new team, and we'll dive into the overall plan the front office is executing this offseason. Before we get into all of that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're not already. If you want daily Eagles content packed with the latest news analysis and rumors, this is the place to be. We do live shows, watch parties, long-form breakdowns, and quick updates, all to keep you in the loop. The goal is to build a real Eagles community here, so hit that subscribe button and let's keep growing this platform together. Now, let's talk about the major move Philadelphia made over the weekend. It flew under the radar a bit since the news broke right after the Eagles signed Aziz Ojulari to a one-year, $4 million deal. That signing is an interesting one. A young, talented edge rusher with solid sack numbers, great bend off the edge, and room to develop into a key piece for this defense. He's only 24 years old, and adding another Georgia Bulldog to this unit only strengthens the connection among these players. He even mentioned that Nolan Smith is one of his closest friends, so there's already built-in chemistry. It's a low-risk, high-upside signing that could pay off in a big way. Shortly after that signing, the Eagles announced an even bigger move. Lane Johnson has agreed to a contract extension through 2027. Here's what you need to know. The deal adds an extra $8 million to his salary over the next 2 years with an additional $30 million in guaranteed money. That means Lane Johnson will now make $48 million over the next 2 seasons with $40 million guaranteed. Simply put, the best right tackle in football isn't going anywhere. This also shows that the Eagles believe he can continue playing at an elite level despite approaching his mid-30s. There is some risk here. He's about to turn 35, and in the NFL, careers can change overnight. Giving a massive contract to an older offensive lineman is always a gamble, but this is what the Eagles do. They reward their own, and that's part of why Philadelphia has become such an attractive destination for players. This franchise takes care of its guys. It's a structured organization and a great fan base and a place where players develop and succeed. The Eagles also like to get ahead of contract situations, extending players early rather than waiting too long and overpaying. That strategy saves them a ton of money in the long run. Lane Johnson's career has been incredible. Drafted in 2013 by Chip Kelly out of Oklahoma as the 4th overall pick, he has become a 2-time Super Bowl champion, a 6-time Pro Bowler, and a 5-time All-Pro. He's been the best right tackle in football for years, and here's a crazy stat. He hasn't allowed a single sack since the 2023 season. Think about that. Not a single sack given up while facing some of the best pass rushers in the league week in and week out. As someone who grew up in the Philadelphia area, this is something to truly appreciate. The NFL is a league where the average career lasts only a few years, yet the Eagles had a core of 4 legendary linemen playing together for over a decade. Jason Kelsey Fletcher, Cox Lane Johnson, and Brandon Graham. That level of consistency is almost unheard of. Kelsey and Cox played in 2 Super Bowls and won 1, while Lane and Graham won both. Now with Kelsey retired, Johnson is the last man standing. Seeing greatness like that on one team for over 10 years is rare and is something that should be cherished. Lane Johnson spoke about his extension in a press conference, saying he believes he can play out the rest of this contract at a high level. Of course, at this stage in his career, he's taking things year by year, but his performance last season was nothing short of dominant. In 2024, he earned an overall PFF grade of 85.4, with an 88.1 pass blocking grade and an 80 in run blocking. Still one of the most athletic tackles in the game, he excels at pulling blocks, getting out in space, and neutralizing defenders at the 2nd and 3rd levels. 0 sacks allowed according to Pro Football Focus. Some people might argue that TJ Watt got the best of him last season, but that sack was credited to Jalen Hurts, not Johnson. So officially, Johnson didn't allow a single sack all year. Beyond just his individual play, Johnson is a difference maker when he's on the field. The Eagles' record with him in the lineup: 102 wins, 55 losses, and 1 tie. Without him, 15 wins and 23 losses. That tells you everything. If he keeps performing at this level for the remainder of his contract, he could go down as one of the greatest Eagles of all time. Some might even argue he has a chance to build the best resume of any player in franchise history. But what do you think was extending Lane Johnson the right move? Do you agree with the decision to lock him in for the next few years? Let us know your thoughts. There's more to get to, but before that, if you want to grab some Eagles Super Bowl 59 championship gear, you can check out Fanatics. They got hats, shirts, hoodies, jerseys, whatever you need to celebrate the team's success. If you want a Lane Johnson jersey with the Super Bowl patch, a Brandon Graham jersey, or anything else, you can get it now. Shifting gears, another former Eagle is on the move. According to Adam Schefter, the Jacksonville Jaguars have signed offensive tackle Fred Johnson to a one-year deal. Johnson's journey has been an interesting one, and this could be an opportunity for him to carve out a bigger role. He played college football at Florida, so this is a bit of a homecoming for him. Last year, the Eagles went 5-1 in games he started, which is pretty impressive. He has some strong performances, like when he stepped in for Jordan Mailata, and shut down Trey Hendrickson, who had 17.5 sacks last season. Of course, he also had some struggles, giving up 8 sacks and ranking 76th out of 85 tackles according to PFF. But as a swing tackle, he showed flashes, and that's a testament to the Eagles' ability to develop offensive linemen. Speaking of the offensive line, this brings up an important point. Howie Roseman always prioritizes building through the trenches, and looking ahead to the draft, the Eagles need to find a backup swing tackle who can develop into a future starter, maybe even someone who could eventually replace Lane Johnson. Keep that in mind as we approach draft weekend, because that could be a position the Eagles target early. So let's wrap up with this. What has been Howie Roseman's strategy this offseason? Coming off a dominant Super Bowl 59 win over the Chiefs, the Eagles have let some key players walk because they simply couldn't afford to keep them. Those guys earned their money elsewhere. In doing so, Philadelphia has freed up cap space for future extensions for young stars like Cam Jurgens, Jalen Carter, and Reed Blankenship. The Eagles are now betting on their younger players to step up and fill those roles. Guys like Moro Jomo Jackson Kirkland, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Kaylee Ringo, and Sidney Brown. They're also relying on their coaching staff to develop and maximize this young talent, just like they did last year with Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. On top of that, they've targeted affordable free agents with potential, hoping they can thrive in this system. Players like Josh Uche and Aziz Ojulari could become this year's version of Zach Baun or Mekhi Becton. The bottom line is this. Philadelphia still has a stacked roster, and with plenty of draft capital this year and next, they're in a great position to reload and run it back. Philadelphia's strategy moving forward is clear. The team is embracing a mix of proven veterans and promising young players, ensuring they remain competitive while maintaining financial flexibility for the future. Howie Roseman has mastered the art of balancing aggressive roster moves with long-term sustainability, and this offseason is another example of that. While some key pieces have departed, the foundation remains strong, and the emphasis is now on development depth and smart financial management. One of the biggest talking points is the reliance on young talent stepping up to fill crucial roles. This approach has worked well in the past, and the Eagles are once again trusting their coaching staff to maximize the potential of players who have been waiting for their opportunity. The team has several names in line for expanded roles this season, including Sidney Brown, Kelly Ringo, and Jalen Carter. Carter in particular had a strong rookie season, and with another offseason of development, he could take an even bigger leap. Sidney Brown showed flashes of being a high-impact player in the secondary, and Kelly Ringo's versatility gives the defense more flexibility in coverages. The offensive line has been the backbone of this franchise for years, and with Lane Johnson's extension, the right side remains locked down. However, depth is always a priority, and the Eagles are expected to target offensive line reinforcements in the upcoming draft. With Jason Kelce retiring, Cam Jurgens is expected to step into the center role, a transition that the team has been planning for. The Eagles have a history of seamlessly replacing offensive linemen by grooming them in-house, and Jurgens has been learning from one of the best to ever play the position. The left side of the line is anchored by Jordan Mailata, another player who was developed internally and has turned into one of the top tackles in the game. Philadelphia's front office also focused on defensive upgrades this offseason, adding Aziz Ojulari to bolster the pass rush. With a strong rotation that includes Haason Reddick, Josh Sweat, and Nolan Smith, the Eagles' defensive line remains one of the most feared in the league. Aziz Ojulari brings explosiveness off the edge, and in this system, he could thrive. His skill set complements the rest of the unit, and playing alongside some of the league's best defensive linemen should elevate his game. The Eagles are hoping he follows a similar trajectory to other players who have come to Philadelphia and taken their game to the next level. Linebacker depth has been another focus area. Last season, the Eagles struggled with consistency at the position, and improving that unit has been a priority. With a mix of veteran leadership and younger players developing in the system, the team is aiming to strengthen the middle of the defense. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is a player to watch, given his physical style and potential to grow into a larger role. The secondary is another area where Philadelphia has invested heavily over the years. Darius Slay and James Bradbury provide veteran leadership at corner, while young players like Kaylee Ringo and Sidney Brown bring energy and upside. The key for this group will be staying healthy and continuing to develop under the coaching staff. The Eagles have been known for their ability to adapt defensively, and with a strong pass rush up front, the secondary should have more opportunities to make plays. One of the most intriguing storylines of the offseason has been the decision to give Saquon Barkley a massive contract. Paying a running back big money always comes with risks, especially given the wear and tear at the position, but the Eagles are confident that Barkley can be a game changer in this offense. His ability to impact both the running and passing game makes him a valuable weapon, and pairing him with Jalen Hurts in the backfield gives Philadelphia one of the most dynamic offensive duos in the league. The key to Barkley's success will be his health, and the Eagles will be looking to manage his workload to maximize his impact throughout the season. Speaking of Jalen Hurts, this season is another opportunity for him to take his game to the next level. He has already established himself as one of the league's top quarterbacks, but Philadelphia's coaching staff believes there's still room for growth. Hurts has continuously improved as a passer and with a strong supporting cast. Around him, he is in a position to have another MVP caliber season. The connection with A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith remains one of the best in the NFL. And with Dallas Goedert providing a reliable target at tight end, this offense has all the pieces to be elite. Philadelphia's offensive philosophy has always been built around versatility and balance, and that will continue this season. The ability to dominate in both the passing and running game makes the Eagles extremely difficult to defend. With a top-tier offensive line, a mobile quarterback and playmakers all over the field, this unit has the potential to be one of the most explosive in the league. Another factor to consider is the upcoming draft. The Eagles have positioned themselves well, with multiple picks giving them the flexibility to address key needs or even make moves if the right opportunity arises. Howie Roseman has never been afraid to be aggressive in the draft, whether it's trading up for a player they covet or acquiring additional assets for future moves. Given the team's current roster structure, they could look to add depth at offensive tackle linebacker and the secondary. One of the biggest advantages Philadelphia has is its ability to develop players. The coaching staff has a proven track record of taking mid-round picks and turning them into key contributors. That's why the draft is so important for this team, not just for finding immediate starters, but for identifying future stars who can be molded into impactful players. As the offseason continues, the Eagles will also be monitoring potential late free agent signings. There are always veteran players available who can contribute on short-term deals, and Roseman has a history of making smart, low-risk moves to add depth. Whether it's an experienced backup for the offensive line or another piece for the secondary, the Eagles will keep their options open. Philadelphia's approach to team building has made them one of the most consistent contenders in the league. They don't just look at the short term. They plan for sustained success. By locking in key players like Lane Johnson, adding young talent, and making calculated financial decisions, they continue to position themselves as one of the top teams in the NFL. The goal for this season is clear: run it back and compete for another Super Bowl. With the talent on this roster, the leadership in the locker room, and the coaching staff's ability to adapt, the Eagles have all the tools needed to make another deep playoff run. It won't be easy, but this team has already shown they have what it takes to win at the highest level. As the season approaches, the excitement continues to build. Eagles fans know what this team is capable of, and with the moves they've made this offseason, expectations are high. The road to another championship starts now, and Philadelphia is ready for the challenge. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The Philadelphia Eagles have stirred excitement with rumors of their strong pursuit of CeeDee Lamb, one of the NFL's most electrifying wide receivers. Despite Lamb recently securing a 4-year, $136 million extension with the Dallas Cowboys, speculation continues about the Eagles' interest in acquiring him. The potential trade of the 24-year-old star has fans and analysts buzzing, wondering if he could be the final piece to an already dominant Philadelphia offense. With his exceptional skills, Lamb could provide quarterback Jalen Hurts with an exciting new weapon, creating a formidable trio alongside A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. Lamb's rise to prominence in the NFL has been nothing short of remarkable, with a standout 2024 season that included 101 catches, 1,194 yards, and 6 touchdowns, earning him Pro Bowl and second-team AP All-Pro honors. Despite these accolades, the Cowboys' disappointing 7-10 season raised questions about the future of their star players. Though the Cowboys seem unlikely to part with Lamb, given his recent contract extension, the Eagles are reportedly preparing an enticing offer, keeping the door open for a potential trade. As the offseason unfolds, all eyes will be on how this saga plays out, with the NFC East potentially being shaken up by such a high-profile move. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.